my likes and dislikes for the VIA Marathon. For me, this is great to get back home here and see my folks. So my stepfather and mother woke up very early to take me to the race site, which was awesome.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming.
At mile 6, I was able to run within, I'd say, a half mile of my father's house. So he drove down to a parking lot that was right next to the race, and he set up a little chair and cheered me on as I ran by. I gave him a hug. That the proceeds of the VIA Marathon go to a really good cause. It's for children and adults with disabilities. In addition to registering, I gave a donation of $50, and my mother gave some money as well. And I mentioned this in another video that I like the size of this race. It's not too big. I think they cap it at 2,000 runners for the marathon. So it's significant, but it's not huge. I like the net elevation drop, but that's deceiving. So, I mean, there is a lot of incline as well. Not steep incline, but there is incline. It's just that there's more decline. So makes for a faster race. A lot of people like this for a Boston qualifier. In the first 6 or 7 miles, it's macadam, but then you get on the canal path, and there's cinder, and there's some places where you're down to single lane. There's grass, dirt. This is good for you, good on your knees.
All right.
This is true of any marathon. I like running up to somebody and starting a conversation with them. A lot of people keep to themselves, and sometimes there's a little banter back and forth, but I like finding somebody that is the same pace and just getting my mind off the pain and just talking to them. And I'm really humbled by when I meet some of these people who have run like 100 marathons, and I've only done 6. It's just amazing. So you meet a lot of cool people. This year was the 10th anniversary of the race, and they also commemorated the 9/11 tragedy. So I'm glad that they remembered that. It was actually on the shirt, the Remember 9/11. I'm under a train. And now for the dislikes. I didn't like that this year was hotter than the other year that I ran it. I woke up in the morning, it was already, at 4:30, it was already in the 80s. And high humidity. It was really bad. In 2014, when I ran it, I was wearing long sleeves. I wore like a raincoat, a poncho that was a throwaway because it was cool at the start line. And this year I didn't. Mostly it was in the shade, but it was cooler than many of the races I've run in Taiwan. But it was still pretty hot and not ideal for running a marathon. Secondly, the race was fine, except for when I got to the half, there was some confusion about which way to go. And I realized the volunteers have to repeat, half full, half full. But I guess the guys just kind of got off track a little bit. Maybe they were in a conversation, but I wasn't told which way to go. And I thought about this. I wonder if this is, remember the whole Mike Rossi controversy. Maybe he went straight instead of turning left, and that would cut off 2 miles. So, and it's easy to do because there's a lot of people standing around. Nobody's really, once you pass, nobody's really watching your bib number. So yeah, there was a little bit of confusion at the split. At mile 21, there was this hill stretch where it's gravel, and there were some rocks that were like the size of my fist. And that could be dangerous, actually. I mean, maybe it's exciting to some of you, but I didn't care for that too much. And man, this race, I mean, you could even wear gaiters because everybody's feet, we were caked in this dust, that comes up when you run on the gravel like that. And the previous time that I ran this race, we had a rainstorm the night before, so it was kind of packed down. But this time it was all dry. And so sometimes the gravel was actually like running on sand, and it was kind of difficult. Injinji socks and my Hoka Cliftons, that was the wrong combination. I think because there's a lot of downhill, not severe downhill, but a lot of decline, that my toes, and when your feet expand, my toes were compressing against the front of my shoe, and I got some major blisters. In fact, I might lose a toenail. I don't know yet. I have to see how that goes. But that is the thing that stopped me at mile 25. I couldn't take the pain anymore, and I actually took off my shoes and tied my laces together, and I ran the last mile in my socks, which a lot of people kind of thought was cool, I think. Maybe they thought I intended to do that, or they thought I ran the whole race in my socks, but no, I couldn't take the pain. And I wanted to run across the finish line. I didn't want to limp. And so I went in my socks. And that sucks.
Good job. Woo! Congratulations!
The finish is very close to my mother's home. It's pretty much a hop, skip, and a jump for them to go to the finish line. And it was great this year. I had my nephew with me, so that was nice. He carried my bag at the end, so thank you, Lawrence. It was great to see them at the end. I just want to thank them. I want to thank my stepfather for driving, and for my family to hang out with me at the end. It's much more enjoyable to share the finish with somebody. This is my first job.
So it is. We're coming up on 4.5 hours. Which really means
Can't wait to look at that toenail.
That's how long these people have been running. They are going higher, but they are finishing strong.
There's
You're
Lawrence.
doing your best. Good job, guys.
As well as
Hey, Mom.
one from Jason, the other from your dad.
Yeah, he brought a chair along.
Everybody brought their dogs. You should have brought Matt.
Yeah.
Middle of the pack this time, but I finished, and it was very much a learning experience, and maybe I'll come back again. On Monday, the day after the marathon, I did Svarupa yoga. Cindy was a very good instructor, by the way, and this was kind of a light yoga. It's kind of almost meditative for the first and last part of it, and just really easy stretches and positions, not too many balance poses. I don't think any balance poses really. So that was good for recovery, I think. On Monday, I could hardly walk. Tuesday, I took a bike ride, and today is Wednesday. I'm gonna try a 2-mile jog. If I can't do it with my shoes on because of my toe, I'll just take them off again. And Thursday, I'm getting a massage. This is recovery time.